Close of play of the second day of the second test between Pakistan and England in Multan sees England in their second innings on 202 for 5, so they lead by 281 after a very eventful day in which 13 wickets fell. Crucially, 8 of those belonged to Pakistan. They lost 8 for 95 in the morning session up to lunch. 8 for 60 was their actual collapse once Babar was bowled by Robinson for 75. It was Robinson's first over of the innings. He was held back mysteriously. We may find out why, but he came on, bowled Babar with a lovely off-cutter for 75 for 95 balls. Shakil made 63, but it was rather a not focused, a rather wayward approach that Pakistan employed after that. Fahim got 22, but Jack Leach produced a ball that spun very sharply to dismiss Rizwan for 10, and the rest subsided really. 202 all out, with Leach finishing with 4 for 98. England went in then after lunch. Crawley ran himself out for 3. That was 11 for 1. Jacks was promoted to number 3 to give Pope a bit of a rest. He'd been keeping wicket and so on, but Jacks didn't last long. He had a bit of an ugly swipe at Abrar, trying to hit him into the leg side, and was bowled for 4. And then it was all Abrari, and after that, Root brilliantly caught at short leg by Shafiq, having to change direction, taking a catch low down with his left hand for 21. And Duckett was bowled by Abrar, a ball that kept very low. Wasn't much of a delivery actually, it was short and it just scuttled along, and Duckett tried to swing it through mid-wicket. He was bowled for 79 from 98 balls. Pope run out for 4 by Nawaz from cover. So a good partnership then between Brook and Stokes, and interesting, a very focused Stokes actually, not one coming out and just trying to thrash the ball around. He let Brook score most of the runs. They know they haven't got enough yet, and they've got some batting to do tomorrow, but I would fancy that they'll want to get Pakistan batting before lunch if they can again tomorrow. Only one wicket taker for Pakistan, and that was Abrar, who took 3 for 81. Of course, there are those 2 run-outs. So I've got Waqar Younis and Vic Marks, both standing up for some reason. Well, Vic, let's start with you. We had Waqar's thoughts a minute ago. What do you make of that as a day? But unexpected, I suspect, wasn't it?
Typically unexpected. Yes. I mean, it's always unexpected in this series, but no one would have dreamt of Pakistan being bowled out before lunch, which happened. I mean, it looked so easy, didn't it, for the first half hour? Babar was there in control, so was his partner, and the runs were coming. Once Babar went, and that was Robinson's first over, strangely, well, you could sense the tension, and the run scoring stopped. Rizwan was practically marooned at one end, not getting any runs. Then another wicket fell, and then it was a pack of dominoes. The pitch doesn't warrant what the scorecard looks like, in my view. I mean, it's turning a bit, but not viciously. I mean, we've been to India, we've been to Bangladesh, where it's absolutely going through the top and turning square and gloving people. That's not the case. But the wickets have kept falling, particularly. I mean, they just lost it, really. They lost their sense of focus at the end of that Pakistan innings. Very tame dismissals, really caught short mid-wicket, caught mid-off. And England were gifted a first innings lead, which I didn't really expect them to get.
It might be that batting performance, Waqar, that costs Pakistan the match this morning.
I mean, it's not over yet, to be fair, but Pakistan way behind in this game. One more wicket or maybe 2 more wickets tonight would have made a bit of difference, but at the moment it's all England. 49 overs, they've batted 200 runs, 4 and over. I think they're going really strong, and they can bat as long as they want to, because it's so much time left in this game. So Pakistan threw it away. I think in the morning, once as Vic said, first wicket, Babar gone, and then they didn't know how to bat. They were just sort of worried and scared of losing wicket, or they just went into that shell which you cannot afford to go, especially against a team who's full of confidence, won the first test match. You have to really match the aggression or match whatever comes to you, and I don't think Pakistan were brave enough at times, as as we just mentioned about Rizwan going, in a shell, not really scoring runs, not being little bit aggressive. Nobody plays a sweep shot. Normally, Rizwan is very good when it comes to sweeping the ball. He was worried that if he loses wicket, then what will happen? I mean, this is what's going to happen if you're not going to really score runs. And Pakistan sort of chucked it away, and full credit to Stokes. And I think the bringing Woods in makes a big difference, because his pace made a massive difference. It created that doubt, that fear in batsmen's mind. Nobody was really comfortable against him. And of course, Leach,
good for the
was
tail, wasn't he, as well?
Excellent.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great from Stokes' point of view. His match winners in the last match bowled 10 overs between them in this innings. I mean, it's absolute. So if he wants to play them in Karachi, he'll probably be able to play them in Karachi.
It's got all the options in him.
Yeah, and the other good thing I thought about England's performance, apart from their running between the wickets, which was diabolical, is the fact they were quite measured today. We keep criticising for going over the top and being ultra aggressive, but in the field, they realised once Babar had gone, they didn't need to over-attack. They just need to keep the pressure on, and the batsman would find a way to get out. And likewise, when they batted, I thought Duckett was excellent. They had men out for his big sweep shots, his slog sweeps, so he didn't play any.
No.
And there were big gaps, and he just tucked along very happily, taking the singles until he basically missed a long hop.
Being very disciplined, isn't it?
Yeah. So that was good. And likewise, Harry Brook, who got out extravagantly in the first innings. Again, pretty measured. They've respected the fact that this guy, Abrar, they haven't seen before. Hang on a minute, we can't take 2 minutes. We've got to have a look at him. Joe Root. It was fascinating watching Abrar bowl to Joe Root. Joe Root barely played a shot, and he was kind of doing some research for future reference. What does this man do? I need to get used to him. And he was very cagey against him.
Having a net against him, really, having a look, yes.
Yeah, and then Abrar got him a second time. It's an amazing sort of bowling lineup or analysis we've got, that Abrar has taken all these wickets with barely any support whatsoever in his first Test match as a rookie. It's an amazing performance by him. But I like the way, actually, England, instead of being totally gung-ho, even Stokes this evening, especially Stokes this evening, and Brook,
very measured.
The only exception was Will Jacks, who found himself batting at 3.
Yes.
So England, I mean, you could get a big score in the final innings of this match, because this wicket doesn't seem to me to be deteriorating rapidly. There's not great big puffs of dust or extravagant turn.
But it's going to be the pressure which is going to really make
the momentum is just with England. Everything's clicking.
Do you think they missed Azhar Ali, Wakar? Because you're looking down, there's a lot of experience there. Once Babar got out, I mean, there was kind of a quick change of all the momentum went out of the innings, didn't it? And you mentioned Mohammad Rizwan, who took more than, I think, 25, 26 balls to get off the mark. It was quite very unlike him. I mean, were they just looking for that experience? Were they missing the experience, do you think?
Look, I don't really know, because I didn't enjoy the way Azhar batted in the previous match also. So and then maybe he could have left Zahid out, who's not really bowling that well. He's just all over the place. He's still struggling to find the right length to bowl, and leave him out and play Azhar for him rather than anyone else, because I think the left armour, I thought he bowled really well. Nawaz controlled the game. That's what you need to do. You need to bowl, steady overs, don't leak too many runs, and he is probably the one who could have done that job, and then Abrar with him, and then probably a couple of paces.
It was quite hard to leave any of the other batsmen out. They couldn't leave any of the openers out. Babar got his runs. Shakil has played very well, and Salmon didn't play a great shot today, but in the Pindi Test had played quite well, and he might have bowled some off breaks in this match.
Yeah. What do you think England are going to think is... what do you think they're going to aim for, Victor, and by when? I mean, do you think tomorrow they might think, right, we played cautiously last night just to make sure we got through to the close, not losing any more wickets. I wonder how they're going to play it in the morning.
Well, I mean, cricketing logic from people as young as Wakar is that there are 3 days left.
Absolutely.
And there's no need to declare. You want to get... I mean, 350, they will be a minimum target. But if you get to 350, I mean, you might as well keep going and,
wear the
put
pitch
your
for
foot
start,
on.
yes.
Well, maybe wear the pitch, but just, make it demoralisingly difficult for the opposition to get
Yes.
the biggest score you can set. So I don't see there's any particular virtue in aiming for a lunchtime declaration. They've only got 5 wickets left, and we're actually into the tail when another wicket falls. So I don't think there will be a declaration.
I don't
And they
think
will
that-
just try and get as many as they can. And it's going to be hard to predict how they'll go about it. But they were very measured today.
don't think they need to declare. They just carry on, and unless they want to play golf.
Well, they probably do.
which I
They
don't
like
mind,
golf.
which I
They do.
don't
And
mind.
there's a
I'll have
good
a
course
run
here.
with them,
Apparently,
yeah.
there's a very good course here.
Yeah.
That will be, I think.
Yes.
It won't be mentioned in the press conferences, but I'm sure.
Deep down.
If not
Dale.
Ben Stokes, some of the others would like to play golf on the 5th day.
Yeah, they might,
I
but-
think my guess is they'll be able to play golf on the 5th day.
But wearing the pitch down would have been a factor back in the day. But all this time to go, you think, well, we will just every ball that's bowled, batting your long spikes, all the old things, all the old tricks that you used to have.
Well, sometimes that is the case. Sometimes the pitches don't deteriorate as you think. I mean, this is very ancient history, but I remember when in 1984, we played at Delhi. We looked at this pitch. We asked Sunil, who was captain of India, what this pitch is going to do, and he said, "What are you doing on the 4th and 5th day?"
Oh, really?
He said, "Have you ever been to the Taj Mahal?" We said, "No." "Well, you can go on the 4th and 5th day." As it happened, the pitch didn't get any. We got a result on the last session of the 5th day. So they don't all. I mean, you'll know this. You'll know far better than me that pitches in Pakistan they look like they're going to turn square, but they don't necessarily get that much worse. Is that fair or not?
Yeah, they look ugly if you look at them, and there's a lot of dust, a lot of holes. You'll see the footholds and all of that. It turns for sure. When the ball is harder, it will spin. We saw it even today. So the new ball is going to be really crucial. Not with the pacers, but the spinner going to be crucial. But once the ball gets a little softer, this Kookaburra ball, it turns, but it turns very slowly. You can sort of manage. It's not that something which will is unplayable. So I think it's manageable. But the pressure of the 4th inning and the look of the pitch might just really get to them.
Waka, thank you very
Thank
much.
you,
We
thank
shall
you.
catch you tomorrow. Waka Yunus, of course, part of our team here, and he'll be back off the long run tomorrow when he's changed his spelling of his name on his enclosure. And as he'll swim up a ladder with some green paint tomorrow morning. Andy Zoltzman is down there staring at his screen, which not got a lot on it today. It's been has it been a quiet day today?
Well, quieter than we've had in the rest of the series. The main, I guess, the standout stats from today are around Abrar Ahmed. 10 wickets on debuts, the 18th bowler in men's Test cricket to have a 10-wicket match haul on debut, the second for Pakistan after 1990s speedster Mohammad Zahid, and the 6th player to do so against England, but the first since Bob Massey in 1972 swung England to distraction, taking 8 wickets innings. And the comparison between Abrar and the rest of the Pakistan bowling attack, which you'd highlighted as inexperienced and lacking in first-class numbers, let alone Test numbers, is quite striking. All of Abrar's wickets, top 7 players. So far in this match, Abrar against England's top 7 has taken 10 for 172. The rest combined, 0 for 250. So we saw England playing Sri Lanka a couple of years ago. Really, Embaldenia was the only major wicket-taking threat for Sri Lanka. Pakistan have found themselves in a similar situation. Probably one of their least penetrative opening attacks they've had. Muhammad Ali and Fahim Ashraf is usually their fifth bowler when he plays, and a journeyman first-class leg spinner in Zahid. So really, there's been a huge amount of pressure on Abrar. He's got Joe Root out twice for just 9 runs in this match. Only one spinner in Root's career has had a better statistical match against Root, and that was Herath, who got him twice for 5 in a test a few years ago in Sri Lanka. And just looking at the ease with which England accumulated, they haven't hit that many boundaries in this innings. And looking at the series as a whole, their dot ball percentage, so 56% of the balls England have faced have been dot balls. So they've scored off close to half of the deliveries, and that's comfortably a record in the series covered by the ball-by-ball data. There's 1,281 series in this sample. So Pakistan have been unable to stop the boundaries initially in the first 3 innings of the series, and now they're unable to stop the singles. And just quickly, Crawley's run out and Pope, they're two of the top 6 run out for England, only the second time in the last 34 years, but it's the second earliest England have had a run out in the last 15 years.